Hello everyone, I'm News 2 meteorologist Marcus Bagwell, and it's time for another edition of News 2 Gives Back. This is brought to you by Nashville Subaru in partnership with the Nashville Predators. As we continue our theme from May as we honor the first responders and those that helped with the Covenant tragedy back in late March, today we are at the U.S. Marshals and their role in the Covenant tragedy, but we also want to hear their particular everyday role. So I'm here with Ashley Allen. She's a deputy with the U.S. Marshal. Ashley, thank you so much for your time, and we're so excited to give back to you all. Before we talk about what you all do on a day-to-day basis, which is a lot, and you do so much for our community and for the country, tell us about you all's role when the Covenant tragedy took place.
So the day of the shooting, most of us were here in the office, and we heard the calls come out over the radio. And so really, by the time we realized what was happening, Metro had done such a phenomenal job, and the immediate situation was resolved. But of course, we're all here, we're all law enforcement officers, and so we wanted to get out there and see if there was anything we could do to help. So we, like many other law enforcement officers in this town, responded, and we just sort of waited for a job to do. And so we were eventually able to relieve some officers who'd been out there for a while, let them decompress. We went over the reunification location, and we were able to kind of help the families get back together with their children and get out of that area safely. We didn't feel like it was much, but we just wanted to be a part of the community. Everyone, I think, here wanted to respond and wanted to do what they could do. And, as law enforcement officers, that was what we were able to do, was go out there and support our other fellow law enforcement officers and, help them any way that they needed help that day.
Yeah, absolutely. And you all did such a great work to help with that, even though it was on a very small scale. Everybody plays a big role in that. And that's something that me and you just talked about just a moment ago. And I want to jump to that portion, is that you all help the community out in this situation. So tell us about your role here in the community and what you all do every day as U.S. Marshals.
So I supervise the U.S. Marshals Service Fugitive Task Force. So I have 3 federal officers who work under me, and then we have 9 state and local officers. So the beauty of the Marshal Service Task Force is that we sort of form a big umbrella and bring resources together. So I have officers from 5 different agencies plus the Marshal Service that we all work together. So anything those smaller agencies need, we often have resources that we can help them. And then also their officers have lots of training and experience and knowledge of their communities and other resources that they bring to us. So our primary role at the task force is serving violent offender warrants. So we serve arrest warrants on the most egregious and violent offenders. And we do that throughout our whole area, which is the Middle District of Tennessee. So that's my primary role here. Okay,
so y'all cover a big area, Middle Tennessee District. It's about 34 counties that you were mentioning. That's a lot that happens across this general area. Now, we're at a place near downtown Nashville, and we're on federal property here. What else happens around this area? You said this is a federal courthouse too.
That's right. So the Marshal Service has really 4 primary responsibilities. The biggest of that is operation of the federal court system. So anyone who is charged with a federal crime in this district is brought here to this courthouse. So this is where they have their initial appearance, they're appointed an attorney, and then all of their judicial proceedings happen here in this courthouse. So that's the biggest piece actually of what we do as an agency, is producing people for court and making sure that everyone has access to a fair judicial proceeding.
Right, which is very important, and that's all part of the process here with our government. Last question for you is, if people have information that could help you all keep this community safer, how can they get in contact with you?
So if you go to the usmarshals.gov, which is our website, I think the first thing that pops up is a submitted tip. So if anyone has knowledge about, anyone who might have outstanding warrants, if someone's come to your house before looking for someone, maybe you're hesitant to give information, you can go on the website and anonymously submit a tip or information. We are here to help the community. We want to get dangerous people off the streets and bring them to justice, let them have their day in court. And it takes all of us to do that together. So we really appreciate the public's help anytime they've got information they can share with us.
Yes, absolutely. And we appreciate y'all's support, even with the media, but also helping people know that the community can be safer. We just have to submit those tips and reports. So thank you so much, Ashley. Appreciate you. We're excited to bring lunch to them today and just to give back to the U.S. Marshals and all the other agencies and organizations that helped out in the Covenant tragedy. This is all brought to them by Nashville Subaru in partnership with the Nashville Predators, and we're excited to give back to the U.S. Marshals here in the Middle Tennessee District in Nashville. I'm News 2 meteorologist Marcus Bagwell. Thanks for taking time to tune in, and we hope you have a good rest of your day.